balls, smashing through buildings, the deafening roar echoing everywhere, its earth-shattering power shaking the surrounding area. Sukin watched in shock as the nascent, serious punch possessed such immense destructive power. 100 meters away, the shockwave from the Centurion's explosion even repelled the gray mist, revealing Lin Daiyu's terrifying strength. "Young master, I have not failed you." Lin Daiyu smiled, though there was some weariness in her smile. Sukin hurriedly said, "There are no corrosive ghosts around. Rest and recover quickly." Lin Daiyu nodded, sat cross-legged, and the surrounding plants quickly provided her with energy. She could draw energy from almost any plant, remaining invincible. The Forbidden Land fell completely silent, with only the eternal mark on Su Kan's wrist slightly warm. Battle over. Rewards calculated. Enemy: 64 level 1 Corruption Demons, 1 level 2 Centurion, 1 level 3 Chiliarch. Battle result: 0 casualties, kill. Rating: S rank. Basic rewards: 100 Source Crystals, 50 Merit Points, 5,000 Experience Points, 50 free Attribute Points. Bonus rewards: 20 Spirit Essence, 1 Leather Armor, 1 Insect Nest. The rewards for this battle were exceptionally generous, especially the experience and free attribute points. Sukin used them all to level up to level 4 and significantly improve his attributes. Lord Su Kan. Race: Human. Level: LV4. Class: Mage, Advanced Sequence, 2, 5, 8, 17, 58, 33. Title: Witcher. Talent: Source of Magic. Strength: Physical Agility Intelligence, 38/39/37/101. Skill: Fireball 2. Merit Points: 31. Items: Insect Nest, Bow and Arrows, Longsword, Food. Her intelligence surpasses that of Lin Daiyu, so her future looks promising. A moment later, the data collection progress bar was complete. Collection successful. You have obtained Demon Suppression Tower, damaged, and 94 Arcane Essence. Su Kan was overjoyed. He had finally obtained the forbidden item, the Demon Suppressing Tower. This forbidden item possessed the functions of soul capturing and spatial storage, capable of collecting the remnants of the corrupting ghosts, and each floor had a space of 1 cubic meter, solving a major problem for Su Kan. However, the Demon Suppressing Tower requires a password to unlock, and this password was left by the original owner before his death. If the wrong password is entered, it will cause a backlash. "Young master, let me give it a try." Lin Daiyu looked at Su Kan. Su Kan nodded and handed her the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. Lin Daiyu held the pagoda in her hands, pointed her right index finger at the Centurion's corpse, and whispered, "Soul capturing." In an instant, a wisp of remnant soul flew out from the corpse and entered the Demon Suppressing Tower. "Young master, that's it. Just make sure the movements and tone are similar," Lin Daiyu said with a smile. Su Kan tried several times and successfully collected the remnant souls. "It seems this lord was quite the arrogant one in his lifetime," Su Kan remarked, continuing to collect remnant souls. The forbidden area has completely disappeared, and the surrounding area has returned to its original state of bushes. "Young master, how amazing!" Lin Daiyu's beautiful eyes sparkled with surprise. "Yes, some lords online have mentioned the appearance and disappearance of forbidden lands, but seeing it with my own eyes is still very shocking." Su Kan nodded. "It's getting late. Let's hurry back," he added. Along the way, they gathered resources hidden by vegetation, defeated some natives, and finally returned to their territory. By then, the territory and military camps had been completed. The log cabin has been upgraded to a 3-bedroom, 1 living room log cabin, presenting a pastoral style. The barracks, on the other hand, are as majestic as a palace, with the words barracks on the plaque looking very imposing. Lord's Heart level upgraded to LV.2. You have obtained the new building altar. Each time the Lord's Heart is upgraded, a new building will be unlocked. The altar is a building used to summon heroes, and Su Kan immediately began constructing arrow towers, insect hives, and altars. Arrow towers take 6 hours, insect hives take 4 hours, and altars take 10 hours. Then, Su Kan arrived at the foot of the Great Wall, took out the Demon Suppressing Pagoda, and released the Remnant Soul. As the Remnant Soul was injected, the progress bar of Meng Jiangnu's tears rapidly increased, and soon after, a crystal-clear teardrop appeared before Su Kan's eyes. Despite their ordinary appearance, the teardrops contain powerful energy, making them a major weapon for Su Kan. However, the remnant soul was consumed in large quantities, and only this much was condensed from the first teardrop. The progress bar for the second teardrop was still far from being completed. Su Kan carefully collected his tears, then poured all the essence of his profound wisdom into the Lord's heart. White 0/1000. White 151/1000. The Lord's heart is extremely difficult to advance and is hard to improve in a short period of time. Just then, news came from the eternal mark. The number of new lords this year has successfully surpassed 100, with 3 rankings for heaven, earth, and humanity now open. Note, ranking rewards will be settled at midnight daily. Chapter 16, a landslide victory on the heaven, earth, and human rankings. Exploding through Blue Star, gaining a personal female bodyguard. The heaven ranking, earth ranking, and human ranking. These are the rankings that every new lord competes for, offering daily rewards with higher rankings that accelerate the improvement of their territory and personal strength. Heavenly ranking, comprehensive territory index, level, rank, buildings, residents, resources, etc. Earth ranking, merit points, unique. Ranking, individual combat power index, class, level, equipment, battle pet, title, etc. When the 3 lists were announced, regional and global channels exploded with excitement. Sukin topped all 3 lists, with a significant gap between him and the second-place finisher. Heavenly ranking. 1. Sukin, Kyushu Kingdom 12903. 2. Stephen Carr, USA 488. 3. Elizabeth Taylor, British 473. Local ranking. 1. Sukin, Kyushu Kingdom 31. 2. Stephen Carr, American 2. 3. Elizabeth Taylor, United Kingdom 2. Personal ranking. 1. Sukin, Kyushu Kingdom 4090. 2. Stephen Carr, American 2001. 3. Yusuke Hidaka, Japan 1740. The gap in the heavenly rankings was particularly astonishing. Sukan's overall index far surpassed that of the other lords, leading the second-place player by thousands of points, which was absolutely explosive. World Channel. Natasha Romanoff, American. A landslide victory on 3 lists? Fuck. Is Eternal Imprint his father? Kita Kazuhiko, Sakura Country, number 1? Does he deserve to be number 1? How many resources and high levels must his territory index have? Li Yongliang, Kyushu Kingdom. Sukin is so handsome. Congratulations, Kenji. Kenji is awesome. Zhang Runin, Kyushu Kingdom. Wow, brother Ken is amazing. I want to have your babies. Robert Byrne, American. Posted on behalf of, I'm Stephen Carr, Sukin fuck you. Dare to participate in the qualifying rounds. Kong Song-ki, Korean. The surname Su was passed down from ancient times to Kyushu, so Sukin should be number 1 in our Korean country. Regional channels. Kita Kazuhiko, Sakura Country. Sukin from Kyushu, are you addicted to cheating? Being number 1 on 3 lists can't hide your ugly face. Lu Tantan, Kyushu Kingdom. Even being number 1 on all 3 lists couldn't shut you up. Luckily, brother can reach the top. Zhang Ziyuan, Kyushu Kingdom. Ha ha ha, Kita Ichihiko, don't be so angry. We're waiting for you to come and cause trouble for our Kyushu Lord. Lieselmar, England. The Lord of Kyushu is all over the news, and her overwhelming number 1 position on 3 lists is astonishing. The eternal mark is the only unquestionable proof. Blair, beautiful country. Damn. A territory index of over 10,000 means at least 1 gold grade material. Can this new lord even do that? Sukin had grown accustomed to these blessings and insults, and even felt a secret thrill. Being infamous was still fame. When he returned to the real world, he would surely be showered with attention by a group of young female celebrities. Blue Star, I'll be sleepless tonight. The simultaneous unveiling of the 3 lists shocked all of humanity. The overwhelming number 1 ranking across the 3 lists was particularly astonishing, even causing the great lords to lose their composure. All of this means that Sukan's all-around abilities far surpass those of other lords, and he is steadily moving towards the realm of gods. Sukan's name quickly topped the trending searches on major platforms, and the comments section saw an explosive growth. Sukin of Kyushu, are you going to destroy the Carlos world? A remarkable figure has emerged from the 9 provinces. How could a lord in Kyushu be ranked number 1 across all 3 rankings? Is Sukin a naturalized player? Ha ha ha, Sukin is awesome. He gave those who didn't believe him a good slap in the face. The heaven, earth, and man rankings are the standards by which major powers judge new lords. With Sukin ranking first on all 3 rankings, many large powers that had been observing began to take action and sent their lords to Jiangnan City. Jiangnan number 3 Middle School. Principal Huang Zhenxiang was so excited he almost cried. On the one hand, the aura of the 4 powerful figures from the god realm in front of him was too strong, and on the other hand, he was shocked by Sukan's overwhelming number 1 ranking across the 3 lists. Haha, very good. This kid is very good. Sun Xuezong, the president of the Kyushu Lords Guild, laughed heartily, and the other bigwigs also smiled broadly. Ouyang Dong smiled and said to Huang Zhenxiang, "Next year, your number 3 middle school will definitely be breaking into the admissions process." Huang Zhenxiang quickly said, "Senior Ouyang, you can just call me Xiao Huang. Our school's philosophy is to take pride in everyone in the future. Sukin's performance has made us feel very flattered." Sun Xuezong took a sip of tea and said calmly, "Don't put too much pressure on them. Take on as many as you can, especially since they will be returning to Earth in 5 days." Huang Zhenxiang nodded. Sun Xuezong continued, "The union will certainly give us plenty of awards, but we won't be holding them with you." Huang Zhenxiang had already anticipated this and never dared to hope for it. "Grandpa, what about Yujing City?" Sun Xuero suddenly asked. Sun Xuezong is Sun Xuero's grandfather. "Jade Capital City," Sun Xuezong said with a smile. "If nothing unexpected happens, a 9 Dragons Treasure Star medal is a must." Huang Zhenxiang was shocked to hear the news, and the others were also stunned. The Order of the 9 Dragons is one of the highest honors in Kyushu, second only to the Order of the Republic. In just 2 days, they actually managed to agree to give him one. This shows that he is highly valued. A tall tree catches the wind. It enjoys the cheers of the world, but it also has to endure the arrows and the shadows, Sun Xuezong remarked. 100 years ago, the kingdom of Kyushu also had several dazzling rising stars, but they all eventually fell from grace. Will Sukin repeat the same mistake? Xuero, when Sukin returns, you will protect him closely, Sun Xuezong said. Sun Xuero nodded. Okay, Grandpa. Chapter 17. A Lucky Find, the Mysterious Heaven Seed. The insect nest stands tall, the source of true production. Sukin hadn't expected to be number 1 on all 3 lists, especially considering how weak the second-place finisher was. There were still people barking in the world chat, so he didn't hesitate to edit a message and post it. Sukan, Kyushu Kingdom. 3 ranking record post. First day of first place on all 3 rankings, he. The person in question appeared, and this statement immediately ignited the world chat, with various comments flooding the screen like a waterfall. Sukin withdrew from the Eternal Imprint and quickly invested his resources into the Talent Enhancer. After investing a large amount of unnecessary resources, his energy points soared to 17,000, with 148 hours remaining. The progress is too slow. The remaining 5 days are simply not enough. Sukin calculated that upgrading a white grade talent to a gold grade talent requires 246,100 energy points, consuming over 40,000 points per day. Source crystals and spirit sources haven't been invested yet, and these will be crucial for the upgrade. He continued to think that once the barracks, the insect hive, and the altar were built, it might accelerate resource acquisition. Alright, the trading channel. Sukin entered the Eternal Imprint and opened the trading channel. Since the new lore trial had just begun, the trading channel was relatively quiet, so he chose Arrogant Scholar as his name to better conceal his identity. He began selecting items and quickly discovered several valuable resources. One was the Fertile Land resource card, which, when used, could transform a section of his territory into farmland for planting crops and generating income. The other was Mystic Calabash Vine Seeds, a special plant that could only be germinated with high-grade spiritual water. Fertile Land costs 3 spirit sources, while Mysterious Heaven Gourd Vine Seeds only cost 10 source crystals. Sukin bought the 2 items without hesitation. Then, he bought some other seeds, spending less than 20 source crystals. He used the Fertile Land card, and instantly a stream of light enveloped a 55-meter area of his territory, increasing the fertility of the land several times over. Pinner, come and plant the seeds together, Sukin called out. Lin Daiyu took the seeds and followed Sukin in planting them one by one. She also watered them to provide nutrients. Afterward, they buried the mysterious heavenly gourd vine seeds at the foot of the city wall. Just as he was about to rest, the eternal mark suddenly flashed, and it turned out to be the seller of Fertile Land contacting him. Flying Bamboo, hello, do you have many spiritual sources? Sukin was taken aback, thinking that the other party was eager to make a deal. Arrogant Scholar, what is it? Flying Bamboo, if you have a lot of spiritual energy, I have something good to show you. Before Sukin could respond, Fei Yong Chunju sent a picture. Well, green provides a continuous source of sweet water suitable for both irrigation and drinking. Irrigation may accelerate plant growth, while drinking may improve physical attributes. Sukin was shocked. This was actually a green quality well. Wells are essential buildings for a territory, and green quality wells are extremely rare. They can accelerate plant growth and improve attributes. Arrogant Scholar, It's just a well. Why make it sound so mysterious? I don't really need water right now. Flying bamboo. No, 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 boss. Look at my green quality well. It can accelerate plant growth and improve attributes. Arrogant scholar. That probability is too low. Green doesn't necessarily mean something good. Flying bamboo. If you have any spirit sources, I'll sell you 10. Sukin's lips curled into a smile. Seeing the other party's eagerness, he had a guess in his mind. The Forbidden Land might need spiritual energy to open, which made him decide to make a deal with the other party. Arrogant scholar. 50 source crystals for this garbage well. Sell it if you can, otherwise forget it. Flying bamboo. 50 source crystals? You're robbing me. That's at least 5 spirit source crystals. Sukin patiently negotiated the price, and after more than 10 minutes, Feiyang Chunju finally compromised and agreed to trade for 80 yuan crystals. Flying bamboo. Damn it, there aren't enough, but I have no choice but to sell them. The transaction is complete, and you have received the well building card. Once used, the well will instantly form, creating a green well that provides a continuous water supply. Later, the construction of arrow towers, insect hives, and altars was also completed. Arrow tower. Quality white. Level, LV.1. Attack range, 2 to 30 meters. Attack speed, 1/3 second. Arrow storage, 30. One arrow can be condensed every 30 seconds using wood and ore. Damage type, physical damage. Although the arrow towers are ordinary, their lethality is significantly enhanced when combined with the Great Wall. The hive, unnamed mother. Quality white. Level, LV.1. Egg hatching. Engineer, 5. Stinger, 10. Evolutionary Institute, none. Life essence, 0. Soul essence, 0. The Zerg hive not only nurtures Zerg combat units, but also stores energy for mass production or upgrades. Sukan threw the corpse of the corrupted ghost, brought back from the Forbidden Lands, into the hive. The decomposition bacteria quickly began to break it down, transforming the corpse into life essence. After decomposition, the insect hive's life essence reached 20 points. Sukan used it all, and the insect king began to work, sending 3 giant eggs into the hatching pool. The progress bar for Meng Jiangnu's tears also increased rapidly. With the injection of remnant souls, the first teardrop finally took shape, becoming one of Sukin's most powerful weapons. In this way, Sukin's territory gradually expanded, and his strength grew stronger and stronger. Chapter 18. The Realm of Immortality. Bathing in the same tub of water with Lin Daiyu. The world chat exploded again. 10 minutes later, their sharp, barbed feet tore through the egg membrane, and 2 mantises emerged. Their upper bodies resembled those of mantises, while their lower bodies were like those of scorpions. The flat, barbed blades on their tails could be used for cutting and securing. As an engineer insect, the mantis beetle has almost no rest time, continuing to hatch venomous stingers. It is larger than the mantis beetle, with 4 armored legs and its back covered with sharp spikes like a porcupine, making it a combat insect among the Zerg. Sukin commanded the insect king to give them orders, and the mantis armor and poison stinger went to scavenge resources in the surrounding area as soon as they were born. The description of the Zerg hive mentions that the Zerg have a complete evolutionary system, and the hive can develop on its own even without additional resource investment. Furthermore, as the hive level increases, it will be able to acquire more specialized resources. One weakness of the Zerg is their limited lifespan. The mantis has a maximum lifespan of 15 days, and the venomancer a maximum of 90 days. Continue to mass-produce troops, at a ratio of 1 mantis shell and 2 venomous spikes. Do not consume life essence to enhance yourself. Sukin reminded the insect king. Life essence is the foundation of the Zerg hive. Besides breeding units, it can also be used to upgrade the Queen Mother's level. Sukin plans to form multiple Zerg squads to quickly reclaim the surrounding territory. The insect king emitted a trembling mental fluctuation, and Sukin then poured the venom collected from the Forbidden Land into the Evolution Institute. An ancient aura emanates from the insect nest, a blessing from the Great Wall, which enhances the residents' sense of well-being. Opening the territory panel, Sukin was surprised by the rapid development of his territory. Territory, Realm of Immortality. Area, 1.5 square kilometers. Territory trait, Infrastructure Maniac, red. Constructions include Wooden House, LV.2, Great Wall, LV.1, Arrow Tower, LV.1, Barracks, LV.1, Insect Hive, LV.1, Well, LV.1, Altar, under construction. Residents, 6. Important resources, 362 source crystals, 50 spirit sources, 800 ironwood. Productivity, 10 source crystals/day. The territory has been renamed the Realm of Immortality, and the Zergling Mother has been named Spiral. Pinner, there's a mother system here called Spiral. You can tell it the location of the resources you've sensed, and once the stinger is generated, it will arrange for the Zerg to acquire them. Sukin explained to Lindayu. Lindayu looked at the insect nest curiously. Yes, young master. Young master, are you not going to use this barracks? Lindayu asked. The barracks were built earlier than the arrow towers, but Sukin didn't seem to intend to use them. Wait a few more days, Sukin replied. The appearance of the insect hive solved the manpower shortage problem, and the barracks could be used later. After dinner, Sukin noticed that Lindayu seemed a little uneasy, so he asked, Pinner, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Lindayu blushed and said shyly, Young master, I saw a well and suddenly felt like ants were crawling all over my body, so I want to take a bath. Sukan's heart tightened suddenly, and he immediately felt a little hot. Shall we shower together? He blurted out his true feelings. Lindayu's face instantly turned as red as an apple, and she shyly whispered, Young master. Her voice was soft and alluring, and Sukin simply couldn't resist it. After calming down, Sukin decided to take a bath. He made a simple bathtub out of wood and used a fireball spell to heat the water, making it steaming hot. All right, Pinner, go wash up, Sukin said. Lindayu ran into the room, closed the door, and practically fled. Sukin waited for a long time but didn't hear any splashing water. His heart tightened, and just as he was about to check, he suddenly heard a rushing sound. 20 minutes later, the sound of water stopped. Sukin composed himself and prepared to take a shower. When he turned around, he saw Lindayu coming out wearing his t-shirt. Her wet hair and the water droplets dripping from her face made her look like a lotus emerging from the water, and her perfect figure looked even more alluring under the oversized t-shirt. Sukin was completely stunned, his heart pounding wildly, an uncontrollable urge surging within him. Young master, I'm done washing, you can go wash now, Lindayu said softly. Sukan's heart started racing again, and he found it hard to suppress the surging emotions within him. The Lindayu before him was so perfect that it was hard to look directly at her. Her wet t-shirt offered almost no coverage, and her fair skin and alluring curves made it impossible for Sukin to look away. He struggled internally. Should he use her bathwater or change the tub? In the end, he decided not to change it. But when he saw that the bathwater had almost turned black, his hope was instantly shattered. So Sukin prepared another bucket of water and took a refreshing bath. When he came out, Lindayu was already asleep on the small bed, her thin t-shirt barely covering her. Sukin stared blankly for a moment, his heart surging with emotion. Suddenly, Lindayu fluttered her eyelashes, quietly opened her eyes, and looked at Sukin. Her eyes were filled with a complex mix of emotions, including shyness, admiration, and disappointment. Does the young master not touch Dayu because she is too ugly? Or does he dislike her? Lindayu's voice choked slightly. Su Sanruan knew the doubts in her heart, and she would surely be filled with regret. He, too, was finding it hard to sleep at this moment. The third golden entry was about to be revealed, and he looked forward to newfound power. He opened the chat channel and sent a message. Sukin, Kyushu Kingdom. An advance record post. Day 2 of being number 1 on all 3 lists, hehe. The world channel exploded instantly, filled with angry voices, and many people began imitating his format by sending hehe, filling the entire channel with his name. Chapter 19 Sword Chi Great Wall, Fuyao Academy. Finally obtained Jade Feet. Green rank, Lord's Heart. Should we draw the third gold keyword now? Extract. The ball of light rolls inside the drum. Stop. Congratulations on obtaining the gold entry. Sword comes. Sword comes. Gene, in this vast world, anything is possible. In the center of heaven and earth, there once lived a scholar who cleaved a celestial waterfall with a single sword stroke. He was the most triumphant man in the world. Sword, please? This golden keyword is actually called Sword Comes. Sukin was shocked, but quickly realized that even something as absurd as uprooting a willow tree could be a popular entry, so he understood. So, where can this term be used? This term has been detected as compatible with the building barracks. Would you like to merge it now? Speak of the devil and he appears. I was thinking of creating a golden keyword for the barracks, and here it is. Merge. Your building barracks has been upgraded to Soaring Academy. Sukin was overjoyed. The ordinary human barracks had turned from chickens into phoenixes. Fuyao Academy is amazing. The appearance of the barracks also changes the moment it advances. The Fuyao Academy is magnificent and imposing, with lifelike dragons carved on its roof ridges. The halls soar high, reaching into the clouds, with upturned eaves like wings soaring into the heavens. The academy's main gate consisted of two thick, dark iron doors, engraved with intricate runes that shimmered like starlight, resembling the brightest stars in the night sky. On either side of the gate, bluestone paved the ground, etched with strange flowing cloud patterns. Passing through the gate, one enters a spacious courtyard. In the center stands a giant table carved from a single piece of jade, surrounded by several jade stools, resembling a gathering place for immortals. On the surrounding walls hang ancient scrolls, depicting immortals wielding swords, with countless sword energies suddenly trembling and leaping from the paper into the air, transforming into a great wall of sword energy. The entire Fuyo Academy, from its magnificent architecture to its exquisite decorations, exudes a sense of mystery and wonder, like a fairyland that commands respect. Standing at the entrance of the academy, Sukin could clearly feel the aura of righteousness emanating from it. He quickly checked the barracks properties. Fuyao Academy. Quality, gold. Level, LV.1. Ethnicity, human. Output, investing 50 spirit sources and 1 merit point can nurture a sword cultivator. Introduction, the Great Wall of Swords protects the 9 provinces. The mighty human race shakes the heavens. The few simple words in the introduction sent chills down Su Kan's spine. Sword energy forms a great wall protecting the 9 provinces. The mighty human race shakes the heavens. We must ensure that the splendor of the academy shines upon all peoples. However, each unit requires 1 merit point to be used. The book never mentions the resource consumption of this type of troop. You should know that merit points are not like other resources that can be obtained in large quantities. This stuff is very precious and is of great help to any lord in the future advancement, enlightenment, and so on. On second thought, since it costs 1 merit point, the resulting troops must be pretty good, right? Sukin gritted his teeth and decided to go all out. Spiritual energy -50, merit points -1. Troop formation in progress. Estimated time 7 hours. Goodness, an incredibly long gestation period. What kind of monstrous military units will be born? As Sukin eagerly awaited, the eternal imprint trembled repeatedly, all of it good news. Congratulations on ranking first on the leaderboard. You're far ahead of second place. You've received a gold treasure chest reward. Congratulations on ranking first on the leaderboard. And you're far ahead of second place. You've received a gold treasure chest reward. Congratulations on ranking first on the leaderboard. You're far ahead of second place. You've received a gold treasure chest reward. 3 glittering golden treasure chests appeared before them, their golden lights spilling across the entrance to the academy and even into the wooden house, startling Lin Dayu awake. Pinner, come open the treasure chest together. Sukin shouted with a laugh. Lin Dayu's smooth, jade-like feet trod across the ground as she walked, her arms crossed over her chest, instantly exuding a pure and aura of ethereal beauty. Young master, is this a military camp? It looks very imposing. Yes, let's open the treasure chest first. Sukin pushed one to Lin Dayu, rubbed his hands together, and opened the other 2. A golden light flashed, and it exploded. You have opened the heavenly ranking settlement chest and obtained Return Scroll 3. You opened the rankings settlement chest and received 10 arcane crystals. Your hero Lin Dayu has opened the ranking settlement chest and obtained a profession advancement rune. With the return scroll in his left hand and the arcane crystal in his right, Sukin was beaming with joy as Lin Dayu handed him the class advancement rune. They made a fortune. The scroll of return has a simple function. It allows him to return to the real world. The 7 days of the newcomer trial are spent unable to return to reality, meaning it is difficult to obtain additional resources and assistance from the real world. The return scroll breaks the shackles, allowing Sukin to not only receive help from the real world, but also bring his gains from the Carlos world into reality. If used properly, the difference between the two can be significant. As its name suggests, the arcane crystal is a crystallization of arcane essence. 1 arcane crystal equals 500 arcane essence. 10 of them equal 5,000 mystic essence. Enough to upgrade Lord's Heart from white quality to green quality. As for the career advancement runes, Sukin was somewhat disappointed after looking at them. It is a warrior's first-tier advancement rune, which can advance him to Earth Warrior, Frost Warrior, and Fire Warrior. His current class is Mage, so he cannot use it. He can choose to return to reality and sell it, or wait until he obtains the second Warrior basic rune later. Even a first-tier advanced rune can sell for 1 million, which is good for exchanging for money or other resources. Sukin used up all the mystic crystals. The Lord's Heart has evolved from white to black. The Lord's Heart has evolved from black to green. Current Lord's Heart, Green quality, 1151/10,000. You have received a quality boost from the Lord's Heart, leveling up to LV.5, gaining plus 20 to all 4 attributes, and acquiring the skill Hellfire. Your territory has undergone a dramatic transformation. Countless streams of heat surged through his body, his 4 attributes skyrocketed, and he gained a new skill, Hellfire. Hellfire is an area of effect, continuous damage ability. It summons Hellfire within a 33 range radius, inflicting a death burn on units within the area. Even after leaving the area, units will still suffer a 2-second bleeding and burning effect. Sukan's combat power has increased to another level. The changes to the territory are also very obvious. First, the area has reached 3 square kilometers. Second, the wooden houses have been transformed into lofts, which are more sturdy and beautiful. The air is also much fresher. In addition, the production of source crystals has increased from 10 per day to 100 per day, which is quite remarkable. Unfortunately, this kind of super high gold level reward is probably only available this time. The rewards on the 3 lists become less and less common as you go on. Even if he is far ahead, the chances of him getting the gold level reward are not high. It was late at night, and Sukan was a little tired. He looked at Lin Daiyu and said, "Pinner, go back and rest." Lin Daiyu nodded slightly and followed Sukan back to the pavilion. The pavilion's plaque bore the 3 characters Chong Sheng Gu, Longevity Pavilion, which were very classical and dignified. The first floor of the attic is for receiving guests, the second floor for resting, and the third floor for enjoying the view. When they reached the second floor, Lin Daiyu did not go to her room to sleep. Instead, she sat on a stool in the living room, with her legs turned to the side, and cleaned the soles of her feet with her hands. Sukan turned around and stared wide-eyed. Lin Daiyu's posture further accentuates her supple figure, her delicate hands plucking withered branches and leaves from her fair feet, creating a scene as beautiful as a dream. Sukan's heart fluttered, and he walked up to Lin Daiyu. "Pinner, let me help you." Lin Daiyu was stunned. Before she could react, Sukan reached out and grabbed one of her jade-like feet in his hand. Chapter 20. Li Chongqing, possess only 1 sword. The fine iron or vein, my finger-flicking divine power astounds all. Young master, you mustn't. Lin Daiyu was completely bewildered and numb, her mind wandering, and she had no idea where she was or what she was doing. She felt as if she were both very far away and very close to Sukan. It's all right. Sukan was single-minded and focused, a million times more focused than Lin Daiyu when she unlocked a serious punch. He had washed countless feet in his previous life and used all his strength to try to help Lin Daiyu relieve her fatigue. A few minutes later, an organ appeared in Sukan's palm. Sukan had never seen such a divine object before. His eyes shone with light, and he unconsciously lowered his head. Lin Daiyu felt as if she had been struck by lightning, completely losing her ability to think. She had never felt anything like this in her entire life. A moment later, Sukan, in a much better mood, coughed lightly and preemptively said, "Pinner, if there's a next time, I won't be so polite to it." Lin Daiyu, who was originally full of shyness, was both amused and annoyed upon hearing this. She glared at Sukan angrily and fled back to her room. Sukan chuckled to himself, thinking to himself, not bad, not bad. The following day, Sukan awoke amidst the frantic tremors of the eternal imprint. Upon opening the chat, I discovered that a large number of new lords had been born, making several channels lively and increasing the number of items in the trading channel. Sukan bought a batch of Xuanzhong stones. Now the territory has expanded to 3 square kilometers, and I still have an expansion card, but the length of the Great Wall has not changed. I can only buy Xuanzhong stones from the trading channel for now. After leaving the eternal imprint, I arrived at the entrance of the Fuyo Academy. The gate opened wide, and a human who looked like a scholar walked out. Upon seeing Sukan, he clasped his hands respectfully and said, "Scholar Li Chongqing greets the palace master." Li Chongqing held a folding fan, exuding an air of grandeur. Sukan nodded and opened his attribute panel. Li Chongqing. Quality, gold. Identity, military branch. Race, human. Loyalty, 100. Level, LV.1. Strength/physical ability, agility, intelligence, 100/99/109/99. Talent 1, photographic memory. Talent 2, sword heart summoning. Talent 3, immortality. Skills, caged bird, unlocked. Moon in the well, unlocked. Only 1 sword. Introduction. I, Li Chongqing, possess only 1 sword, capable of moving mountains, overturning seas, subduing demons, suppressing monsters, commanding gods, plucking stars, severing rivers, destroying cities, and splitting the heavens. Hiss. Its base stats are even more formidable than Lin Daiyu's, and its 3 talents are all incredibly powerful. Talent, photographic memory. Quality, gold. Effect, immediate memory and exceptional comprehension. Introduction, seemingly ordinary, yet it is the foundation of swordsmanship. Talent, sword heart synthesis. Quality, gold. Effect, masters swordsmanship, possesses sword energy, reaches a state of returning to simplicity, and increases the power of all sword techniques by 100%. Introduction, I have a sword. This sword is me. Talent, immortality. Quality, gold. Effect, the sword energy is indestructible, and the soul is immortal. Introduction, a sword forged in life or death bond. Sukin was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Li Chongqing was truly an extraordinary swordsman. He had actually reached the level of immortality and indestructibility. He was no longer human. From this day forward, you will follow me to slay demons, eliminate monsters, and fight against all races. A glint of sword light flashed in Li Chongqing's eyes, and he said with a smile, Chongqing swears to follow the palace master to the death. Sukin was very satisfied. Li Chongqing knew how to talk. Lin Daiyu, however, looked at Li Chongqing with great curiosity. She sensed a sharp energy within Li Chongqing's body, which, once unleashed, would surely cause a cataclysmic event. Sukin went to check the insect nest again and found that overnight, 4 mantis shells and 5 poison stingers had multiplied, enough to form 2 small combat groups. The altar has been completed, but summoning the second hero requires 10 spirit resources, which Sukin currently does not have. Time was of the essence, so Sukin didn't linger in the territory and split his forces into 3 groups to explore the surrounding areas. After 2 days of clearing the land, all the nearby resources had been exhausted, leaving no choice but to venture further afield. Further away means greater danger, thicker fog, and even if you stray too far from the territory, the 10-day protection period will lose its effect, and the gaze of the evil god will fall upon you. With Lin Daiyu and Li Chongqing as his right-hand men, Sukin was fearless. Young master, there appears to be a mineral vein about 300 meters ahead. The lanterns dispersed their light, illuminating Sukin's surprised face. Can you determine the type of, or vein? Lin Daiyu closed her eyes and sensed for a moment before saying, Young master, it should be refined iron ore. Sukin was even happier upon hearing this. Refined iron ore is a mineral of a higher level than iron ore and is an essential upgrade material for lords in the early stages of the game. In the real world, a piece of refined iron ore can sell for $100 or $200. How much is the total value of this vein? Tens of millions? Let's go take a look quickly. The 3 quickened their pace, broke through the gray fog, and arrived at the location that Lin Daiyu had sensed. At the edge of the field of vision, there was a protrusion exposed on the ground, covered with black, cube-shaped crystals. It is indeed refined iron ore. Judging from the size and number of protrusions, it is a vein. Sukin's eyes were burning with determination. If he could secure this mine today, his talent enhancement progress would increase dramatically, giving him more confidence when he returned to the real world. Young master, there are monsters guarding the mine over there. Lin Daiyu pointed, and a 3-headed, 4-legged monster emerged from behind the pile of ore. Their bodies are covered with thick, emerald green scales, and their eyes are like 2 deep night skies, exuding a hint of untamed wildness, as if they can see where all the gold and silver in the world are. Whenever they open their wide mouths, revealing sharp fangs, even the hardest metal becomes their meal. Their limbs are thick and powerful, and their tails are long and flexible, easily sweeping away any obstacle with a flick of their wrists. Each of them has a single horn resembling a drill bit on its head. The unicorn gold-devouring beast likes to gnaw on metal veins and is good at burrowing underground for defense. Sukin quickly stated their information. The presence of the unicorn gold-devouring beast further proved that this area was rich in mineral resources. Otherwise, it wouldn't be under the watchful eye of the unicorn gold-devouring beast. The Eternal Imprint provides a combat strength assessment, indicating that these creatures are all at the level of LV4+1, and even with their extremely high defense, they are no match for Lin Daiyu. There are more than just these 3. There are at least a dozen more underground and in the gray fog, each with considerable combat power. Lin Daiyu continued to use the Crimson Pearl Immortal Grass to gather information about the battlefield. It seems we need to deal with them first before we can move the mine. Sukin smiled, and a simple scepter appeared in his hand. Just as he was about to unleash hellfire, Li Chongqing suddenly spoke with a smile. Palace Master, Madam, Chongqing would like to give it a try. Upon hearing this, Lin Daiyu blushed and became flustered, losing her composure. Sukin chuckled inwardly, naturally not refusing. Then Li Chongqing stretched out his right hand and tapped with his 5 fingers. With each tap, accompanied by a rapid whooshing sound, a condensed sword aura shot out. Puff, puff. Several bloody holes instantly appeared on the foreheads of the main defensive unicorn gold-devouring beasts, their brains shattered by the exploding sword energy. Chapter 21 Second Profession Rune, Li Chongqing's Sword. Creative Mining Method. The seemingly insignificant sword energy is full of destructive power, easily piercing the head of the gold-eating beast, which is as hard as metal. Moreover, his movements were elegant and scholarly, as if a great Confucian scholar were performing them effortlessly. Yes, it comes naturally to me. She is in no way as physically weak as Lin Daiyu. The gold-devouring beast's collapse and convulsions eventually attracted the attention of other magical beasts, and one after another, the one-horned gold-devouring beasts rushed out of the gray mist and roared. They are purely melee-based monsters with no ranged attacks. So Li Chongqing showed the two what the sharpness of a sword cultivator was. He took a step forward, and waves rippled beneath his feet, instantly condensing into a lotus flower of sword energy. With another step, another lotus flower condensed. Every step brings forth lotus blossoms, and the blooming lotus destroys the world. Puff, puff, puff. The lotus petals unleashed a torrent of sword energy, the thick sword light severing their heads, blood gushing forth. Palace Master, madam, there should still be demonic beasts in the gray fog. Chongqing will be back soon. As he spoke, Li Chongqing strode forward, lotus flowers blooming with each step he took. When he entered the gray mist, a vortex of lotus sword energy had already spread behind him. The sound of sword energy cutting through the air brought Sukin back to his senses from the shock. Young master, Li Chongqing's sword energy is incredibly powerful. He appears gentle and refined, but in reality, it is unparalleled in its sharpness, Lin Daiyu exclaimed. Yes, this is just his ordinary method. Sukin took a deep breath, took out the demon-suppressing tower, and began to work. If Li Chongqing's basic attack is this formidable, how terrifying will his burst damage be? It's definitely no worse than Lin Daiyu's serious series. Collection successful. You have obtained 1 unicorn horn, 100 enhanced scales, and 5 refined iron. Unicorn horn is a weapon material, and reinforced scales can be used to forge defensive equipment. Refined iron is a substance refined from refined iron ore, and its value is far higher than that of refined iron ore. It seems that the body of the unicorn gold-devouring beast can directly refine refined iron ore. The remnant souls and corpses were taken away by the demon suppression tower, and Sukin cleaned up all the gold-devouring beasts he had killed. Arriving at the protruding iron ore, Sukin placed his hands on the ore and started mining. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Immediately relieved of a major calamity, Sukin happily launched a series of collections. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Each time, 100 portions were placed into the demon suppression tower, and in the blink of an eye, a huge pit appeared on the ground. However, the mineral vein had not yet been completely mined, and Sukin was full of energy. He thought he should bring 2 mantis armors next time. Heroes and troops can't actively collect resources, but mantis armors can. That's their innate ability. I took the opportunity to glance at the insect hive panel, and wow, I actually had 38 points of life essence left, 10 mantis beetles, and 20 venomous stingers. The Zerg hive truly lives up to its reputation as a classic building for massing units. Everything in the territory was going off track, and Sukin felt more and more hopeful for the future. Suddenly, the eternal mark blazed hot, and the battle results arrived as scheduled. Battle over. Rewards calculated. Enemy, 37 LV point, 4 gold-eating unicorns. Battle result. All were annihilated. Rating, S rank. Basic rewards, 100 source crystals, 2 merit points, 8,000 experience points, 20 free attribute points. Bonus rewards, 30 spirit essence, fine iron sword, basic class rune. Holy crap, it exploded? Putting aside the basic rewards, the extra reward was an amazing class rune. Pinner, go and put away the gold-devouring beast over at Chongqing's place. Sukin handed the demon-suppressing pagoda to Lin Daiyu, who nodded and accepted it. Extract the base rune of the reward. The eternal imprint provides detailed information. Class rune grants the basic blacksmith class upon use. It's not bad, it works. Blacksmithing is a popular non-combat profession, as it allows one to forge suitable weapons. In general, later stage lords will choose 1 to 2 non-combat professions as support. Of course, there are also lords who specialize in non-combat professions, and they also have the opportunity to enter the realm of gods. I crushed it and used it directly, and instantly a flood of related information rushed into my mind. You have obtained the profession, blacksmith. You have gained the blacksmithing talent, Eye of the Divider, green. You have acquired the blacksmithing specialization, crafting mastery, black. You have acquired the initial blacksmithing skill, forging. The Eye of Division, green. My eye is my ruler. I can perfectly design materials without any tools. Refined through trials and tribulations, black, representing enduring stamina and precise eyesight, resulting in superior refining of materials. Forging skill, white, the initial skill for blacksmiths, allows them to forge materials into shapes based on blueprints or designs. Sukin clicked his tongue in amazement. When he became a mage, his abilities were all of white quality, but now that he had acquired the blacksmith's abilities, they were even of black and green quality. By adding all the experience and attributes to himself, the data on his personal panel is quite impressive. Lord, Sukan. Race, human. Level, LV5. Class 1, Mage, Advanced Sequence, 2, 5, 8, 17, 33, 58. Profession 2, Blacksmith, Advanced Levels, 109, 288, 361. Title, Witcher. Talent, Source of Magic, forged through thousands of trials. Strength, Physical Agility Intelligence, 68/69/67/151. Skills, Fireball, 2, Forging 1. Merit points, 32. Items, Abundant resources, bow and arrows, longsword, food. He's allocating all his stats to intelligence, and the damage from a single level 2 fireball is already explosive. Once he upgrades his equipment to gold quality and raises his talent level, who knows how high his damage will go. With 122 hours remaining on the talent enhancer and this sizable iron mine, Sukin was no longer in a hurry. Young master, the collection is complete. Lin Daiyu handed the demon-suppressing pagoda to Sukan, saying with great concern, Young master, shall I do it? Sukin sighed helplessly. You guys can't handle mining the ore properly. I'll take my time. By the way, Chongqing, you can use this sword. Sukin casually tossed the fine iron sword to Li Chongqing. Li Chongqing was a sword cultivator, so naturally he needed to use a sword to unleash his true power. This fine iron sword is a white-grade weapon with pitifully low enhancement. Li Chongqing took it and glanced at the iron sword, then chuckled and said, It's barely usable. Palace Master Chongqing has a method that might speed up the mining process. Sukin raised an eyebrow. Tell me about it. The mineral vein is buried deep underground and is not easy to excavate. Although we cannot help with the mining, we can make the mining easier. Sukin was taken aback, then heard Li Chongqing say again, Palace Master, please come up first, and I will know as soon as I do it. Upon hearing this, Sukin climbed to the ground, patted the dirt off his body, and looked at Li Chongqing curiously. Holding the fine iron sword, Li Chongqing suddenly felt a surge of righteous energy emanating from his body, spreading outwards as if he were the only person in the world with his sword. A profound and mysterious sword chant suddenly rang out, and in the next instant, Li Chongqing unleashed a sword strike. Sizzle! A thick sword aura surged forth, transforming into a streak of light that swept across the mine. The sword aura storm roared in an instant, causing the earth to tremble and groan, and the sky and earth to change color. When everything calmed down, the ground in front of us had turned into a wide ravine, with piles of fine iron ore visible to the naked eye. Sukin was pleasantly surprised. Li Chongqing had actually extracted the ore with a single sword strike. Unbelievable swordsmanship. Palace Master, please. Li Chongqing sheathed his sword and stood there, smiling without saying a word. Chapter 22, A Surge. Energy points erupt. An unexpected blessing. The Rain Trace's remnant clan. Sukin was overjoyed and immediately began mining. Lin Daiyu showed an expression of having learned something, but was also secretly annoyed that she hadn't thought of this method herself. Collecting exposed ore piles is naturally different from collecting or buried in the ground. The speed is incredibly fast. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Collection successful. You have obtained 100 refined iron ore. Soon, the demon suppression tower was overflowing, so Sukin simply put his stuff into the talent enhancer. The rate of energy accumulation has increased dramatically. Energy plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Energy plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. After an unknown amount of time, the iron or vein was finally completely mined out. The energy stored in the talent enhancer is astonishing. 72841/100. Should I upgrade the talent to purple now? Remaining time, 117:10:01. No. A surge of over 60,000 energy. The talent can now be upgraded to purple. In addition, there are more than 80,000 tons of refined iron or remaining, filling the demon suppression tower to the brim. If we include the cost of the enhancer, this mine alone provided a total of 150,000 plus ores today. In the real world, it could fetch over 10 million. This is the terrifying resource of Carlos's world. It's hard to imagine the shock humans felt when they first entered the world of Carlos and brought back a wealth of precious resources. Things that are precious and rare in the human world are likely to be everywhere in the world of Carlos. Of course, this is on the premise that you have the strength to defeat powerful monsters and evil gods. Among the new lords, only Sukin possesses this strength. There were still 80,000 tons of refined iron ore left, which could be kept for personal use or converted into energy points, so Sukin wasn't worried. After the vein was hollowed out, many byproducts were exposed, including spiritual herbs and metals, which were also taken into custody. Collection successful. You have obtained 50 dragon tooth rice seeds. Sukin looked at the handful of seeds in his hand. These seeds were collected from the withered grass in the corner. He didn't expect them to be the seeds of dragon tooth rice. Dragon tooth rice is a spiritual food. Long-term consumption can strengthen the body and cure all diseases. It is also a favorite of lords who are good at body tempering, as it can help them accelerate their body tempering process. However, dragon tooth rice seeds are hard to find and difficult to cultivate, and their price remains high in both the Carlos world and the real world. Sukin casually put away the dragon tooth rice. Even if it were planted now and survived, it would still take half a year to harvest. It's not just long-year rice. Many crops have a long harvest period, at least several months. This is why many lords are unwilling to plant long-term crops. There's no quicker way to get resources than to grow them yourself. Young master, look what this is. Just as he jumped out of the ditch, he saw Lin Daiyu walking over carrying a package. Pack? Why would there be a package here? Su Kan's gaze sharpened as he opened the package. There were actually clothes inside. They even found a metal block. Su Kan, who excelled in humanities, recognized it as a type of currency. Are they natives from nearby territories, or natives from regions where civilizations originated? The world of Carlos is full of dangers, but new lords have a 10-day protection period to avoid most deadly threats. However, several crises persist. First, there are scattered demonic creatures. Second, the indigenous people near the territory. Thirdly, it is a forbidden place where people appear and disappear unpredictably. Fourth, other potentially adjacent territories. The threat level of indigenous people is uncertain. For example, the ugly monkey that appeared a few days ago was not a big threat, but it is different if there are indigenous people with a tribal civilization. They possess combat strength comparable to monsters and intelligence comparable to humans, greatly increasing their threat level. Sukin frowned. The various surprises and gains of the past 2 days had overwhelmed him, making him forget what danger was. Such a civilization surrounding the territory is a super time bomb. It's not uncommon for new lords to be utterly defeated by the natives. In the eyes of both sides, the other is a piece of easy prey. This place is about 7 or 8 kilometers away from the territory, neither too close nor too far. Pinner, try to sense if there are any traces of your tribe around you. Young master, I sensed something just now. There were corpses and trails left behind, as if they were fleeing for their lives, coming from the northwest. Sukin hesitated for a moment, then decided to investigate the situation. If it was true, he would take them down directly. He couldn't sleep peacefully if he couldn't allow such a malignant tumor to exist around his territory. With Lin Daiyu and Li Chongqing around, he felt very confident. Let's go take a look. As dusk fell, the light from the lanterns blurred the figures of the 3 men, making them appear eerie. Lin Daiyu reported the direction of their tracks from time to time. After walking nearly 2 kilometers along the same footprints on the ground, they finally discovered signs of a large amount of biological activity. A messy pile of dung, swarms of flies, and various rotting corpses. Lin Daiyu covered her nose, while Li Chongqing held his sword with both hands and frowned. Sukin remained expressionless, having already anticipated this scene. After passing through the filthy area, he could vaguely see rows of small buildings. Sukin compared them with the knowledge in his mind, but he couldn't find out what kind of ethnic group they belonged to. Fortunately, the eternal imprint provides the answer. You've discovered the rain-stained remnants of indigenous people, the descendants of Yuhin? Sukin had never heard of it. The Raintrace clan, once a mid-sized race standing tall in the world of Carlos, skilled in praying for rain and cultivating spiritual herbs in their fields. They were later wiped out by a cursed evil god who single-handedly cast a blood curse upon them. The surviving members have managed to eke out a living here using special methods. Sukin's eyes lit up. The words, praying for wind and rain, cultivating spiritual herbs and farmland, gave him a new idea. If we could subdue them, wouldn't it be wonderful to cultivate spiritual plants in the farmland after settling in? It is far more valuable than killing them and draining the pond to catch all the fish. Sukin told the two about the Yuhin clan's information. Lin Daiyu suddenly had an idea and pondered. Young master, they are a clan cursed by a cursed evil god. If we accept them, will the evil god hate us? Li Chongqing expressed the same concerns. Sukin shook his head and said, it's all right. In 10 days, the evil god's puppets will most likely besiege the territory. When we set foot on this land, we will inevitably be fighting against the evil god. Whether or not the Yuhin clan is present will not have much of an impact. The two realized what was happening and immediately stopped trying to stop them. I will do as you say, young master. Princess, please give your orders, and Chongqing will do his utmost. Sukin was very satisfied with their awareness. After thinking for a moment, he said, first, investigate the scale of the Raintrace clan and assess their combat capabilities, then execute the plan to capture the king. The humanities subjects studied by humans on Earth are not things like politics and history, but rather things like races, war, and the world. One of the subjects is Strategies of the Gods, which discusses various tactics for dealing with different groups of people. Sukin achieved a perfect score in this subject. Since the Yuhin clan is small and needs to be subdued, the strategy of capturing the king is the best choice. With Lin Daiyu around, they quickly grasped the information about the entire small clan territory. There are 32 buildings in total, one of which is a warehouse. There were 61 life force auras, all of which were very weak, and even the strongest one was not as strong as the ugly monkey in the treasure pouch. There are also wells, fields, etc. Young master, we found the house where the leader is. Lin Daiyu opened her eyes and pointed to a dilapidated thatched hut not far away. Sukin was somewhat surprised. The leader's living conditions were even worse than his subordinates. Let's go capture him first. Chapter 23. Yuhin submits, and the entire clan migrates. The population of the immortal realm increases sharply. A few minutes later, Su Kan and his two companions kidnapped the leader of the Raintrace clan without any difficulty. He was about 1.5 meters tall, with a hunched back, his face covered in white hair, and his eyes were so cloudy that he couldn't even see Su Kan and the others clearly. It was as if he could die at any moment. Outsiders, what business do you have with my Rainscar clan? The leader asked, his voice old and hoarse, yet calm, as if he had seen through life and death. Sukin frowned, truly afraid that if things continued like this, he would just kick the bucket. Lin Daiyu bent down and gathered a ball of green light from the surrounding plants. She reached out her hand, and the green light entered the old man, which stabilized his breathing and even straightened his back. Su Kan and Li Chongqing looked at Lin Daiyu in surprise. The power of plants seemed quite strong. Kind stranger, I thank you for your help. A smile appeared on the old man's bark-like face. Did you kidnap me so that our Rainscar clan would submit to you? Sukin was startled. The old man was no ordinary person, as he had actually guessed their purpose. You're wrong. We only want to kill and rob. Sukin replied coldly. The old man smiled and shook his head. Although I can't see or hear clearly, my mind is still clear. Our Yuhin clan is cursed and born with the 5 signs of decay. We are powerless and have little of value. The only thing we can be proud of is our clan's unique nurturing ability. A strange light flickered in Su Kan's eyes. Things seemed to be heading in an unpredictable direction. I can make 61 people submit to you without losing a single soldier, but you need to agree to one request. The old man's spirits waned again, and the life force of plants did not linger in his body for long. He was already on his deathbed. Even if Sukin hadn't come, he wouldn't have lasted more than a few nights. His willingness to surrender meant he knew the other side was far stronger than him, and that he would gain more by surrendering willingly than by struggling to be subdued. Sukin recalled the 5 signs of decay caused by the curse he had just mentioned, which was truly terrifying. Explain. After my 61 remaining members of the clan have submitted, please treat us well. We only need to be fed and clothed, and we do not need any special treatment. We will do our best to help you. If possible, we beg you to help us get rid of the curse. Sukin felt a sense of unease. The old man's words made it seem as if he had been waiting for a destined person for a long time. I find it hard to believe your words, Sukin said frankly. The old man sighed and said, Respected outsider, we, the remnants of the Rainscar clan, have survived in this world for far too long. In our final moments, we only hoped for a quiet place to be buried. As you wish, we have waited for this day for far too long, so long that the last spark of our race is about to be extinguished. If you, powerful foreigner, can grant our last wish,